Comedian Bear Love returns to the podcast to recap his trip from Bong-a-thon.
And we're back with a Barcast special, because I don't know the number of the episode. Bear Love returns to the podcast, fresh off his trip from Bong-a-thon.
Episode 710 for hash oil.
Hell yeah, that's what it is. It should be. But we got Bear Love here to recap his time at Bong-a-thon. So real quick, can you just tell us about what Bong-a-thon is?
Bong-a-thon is a invite-only competition for stoners, where second place, he came out of Florida, toasted. First place was from Colorado, and the main competition is the 7-gram competition, and that's was all the competitors. I didn't compete in that. I did do the fastest gram competition, and
How long did that take you?
I think it was 3:47, and when I went in for 3:47, the leader was 3:22. So I was only pretty close to the leader, but then somebody came through proper and did it, I think, 1:22 or something like that.
God damn.
Yeah, a minute and 22, a whole gram. And Brad Adcock, you were selling me short grams, motherfucker, because
Shout out,
because I
Graham.
could smoke a Brad Adcock gram in 1.25. You know what I mean?
That one, no problem.
Yeah. But just joking, Brad. I love you, Brad.
I love it. I was like surprised with it. Like they had blunt relay races I saw.
So I did get in the blunt rolling competition. So I don't smoke a lot of flower. I look like I do, but in 2010 I went to extracts. I was like, this is what your children will be smoking. I literally used to tell hippies, it was only the G pen, so it was a horrible pen back then, and you could taste the coil. But I was like, they will perfect.
That's the first Apple
Yeah,
computer.
I was like, this is gonna be the future. And so I really switched to extracts, and I was like, and somebody'd offer me the plant, the flower, and I'd say, oh, it's like the cavemans used to. You know how they used to just throw the whole plant on the fire and put a tarp over it? Yeah, why don't we be like cavemen and smoke the flower?
Yeah.
No, you can extract the crystals that get you high. And then you have the real extract. So I switched to extracts a long time ago. So after I did the 1 gram, I went back to my tent and slept. Or tent was the car with the air conditioning. And so I went back to the car and slept. And then I forgot I signed up for the blunt rolling competition.
So is it fastest time to roll a blunt, or is it the
And
best
it's the fastest. So you got to get all the weed in the blunt that they provided you with, which is 2 grams. So you have to roll a fatty, which is 2 grams. And it's one of the blunt wraps. You know what I mean? So you had to get it all in there. And I made good time because I knew to get it all in there, and I got it all in there. And then I started to lock it in. I started to really lock it. And as I went to go, and because everybody else, if you haven't rolled a lot of those wraps, like they're hard to twist. You really need stuff on the outside for them to really twist good,
especially under pressure.
I was ready to have it twist good, and when I twisted, a little nug fell out of the end, and I hurried up and put it back in there before my time was over. And then when you have to throw it down and they have to light it, the judge has to light it, but you can stop your clock as soon as it's down. And as I threw it down, the one piece that I packed in there shot back out. And so that disqualified me. So I can no longer go back to Detroit because I lost a blunt rolling competition. I live here now.
You're stuck here now.
I live here now.
That's crazy.
It was bad. You know, I was disqualified by a Colorado judge, you know, but I'll just say.
I like to imagine you guys have like an art show of just cool blunts just rolled. You're like, look at this fine, perfectly rolled 5-gram blunt.
I woke up and I forgot that I was in this blunt rolling competition. So luckily I went down there. They were like, it was so Bong-a-thon. They were like, he has 4 minutes and 20 seconds to make it to the stage because I was late. Yeah. You know? And so I made it there at like 4:19. They were counting down to, and I just woke up from being knocked out from the gram challenge. So I get down there and they just give me 2 grams of weed and I freaking roll a blunt. And then they're like, disqualified, but I've got a lit blunt. And I just woke up.
So you guys.
And so I just like walked over to my friends. I was like, I got a blunt. You know, so nobody lost at Bong-a-thon.
What time do the events start? Does they restart?
4:20 is the opening
Do they actually?
ceremonies. Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's what I was imagining, but that's amazing. You do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we all got there at 5.
Yeah. They like true stoners.
Yep.
Everybody starts late.
Yeah. There was a couple people who made it there. No, I'm joking.
What was the biggest blunt there was?
So Bong-a-thon, short for bat. We were smoking out of this giant bat, but it had like an interior.
Oh, I saw your
pipe.
photo.
Yeah. So nobody went really crazy big. 419 at Joe Chronic's Chronic magazine party. That was the biggest. Excuse me. That was the biggest blunt that I saw. They rolled it like it looked like the dog from Conan O'Brien, like for me to poop on. And it was a blunt that looked like that dog. And it was horrible because you had to flip it and light it out of its tail, so it looked like you're smoking the dog's butt. Yeah.
You're licking its ass. Oh yeah.
But that was the coolest one.
What was your favorite moment?
But I won't say which festival it was at, but the craziest moment we got to talk about was I went to a festival that I was performing at this summer, and I stumbled into some people who were smoking a different vape pen. It was a dimethyltryptamine, DMT, which is when you're born and when you die. And I had the most profound, I guess we'll start backwards. Coming out of the DMT trip, I'm sitting around a group full of people at the festival that I all knew me from earlier the night before. And I just come back and I say, they all start moving independently. And I go, oh, humans are real? Like, that was a real statement. I thought I beat drugs. I thought I literally beat drugs.
You're like, I'm in a new
and I
world.
wasn't going to have to come back. Because basically there was such a big deja vu when I smoked DMT this time that it reminded me of the time I smoked DMT in 2000. I don't smoke it a lot, and I haven't smoked it a lot in my life, but in 2009 I smoked it, and I just kind of saw kaleidoscope colors, like and I saw one of the little machine elves that people describe, the DMT people, and I just saw him living in this little jester's world that looked like a carnival, like Barnum and Bailey, like primary colors, red, blue, green, and it was just this, like, I just imagined him in his own world. I just had this moment while I'm on DMT, which is like when you can also REM sleep can release it. So I'm in this like crazy mode. And I had this vision of this world, and here I am at this festival this summer, and I hit DMT with this guy, and it was funny because they had this blow-up jousting thing there, like you would have it like a, like how they have the blow-up sumo wrestling. It was
I'm jealous I didn't go.
It was
now.
blow-up jousting, so they had the big blow-up jousting, and one of the guys DMT or gives the other guy DMT, and then they battled each other, and one of them was ready for it, and one of them was like, that guy trapped me in his world and then battled me. Yeah. And so I kind of heard that they were smoking DMT on the other end of the tent, so I kind of stayed away from it because I didn't know if I needed that experience. And then all of a sudden the guy came over to me and was like, and I'm like, all right, we're going to do it.
When in Rome.
And when in Rome, so we roamed it out, and I hit it, and the dude became that DMT person. Yeah. The one that I saw in 2009. That's 17 years before. And so he became him, and he's like, look at, like, because I imagined it was the coolest thing I could experience, because I imagined him, the DMT person, lived there. So I just thought it was the coolest place I could be. And he was like, here you are. You're at my realm. And he even said that. The guy. Like, I went on the lake with him. He's a real guy. But like he was like unveiling DMT, and he was like, look, you can I created it. And so it was showing me that and then all of the other people there were like, yeah, look at what you created. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, holy shit, I want to think of better things. You know what I mean? I'm very rich. I'm very wealthy. Like, I'm in crazy. A big amphitheater performing comedy.
Yeah.
So, because it just showed me like vividly that the last 17 years had been building up to this very cool moment in this tent where I get to joust with my friends. And so the takeaway from that is think good about yourself, because the universe wants to create those thoughts. And so, and it's creative. It doesn't care. It was the shenanigans dream of a jester jousting with me in an amazing time with my friends. And so the universe isn't going to judge that manifestation. And it literally, and so, but because it was so complete, it was like Truman Show. They were like, okay, cast is over. Cast is over. You did it. You made it. Look. And they were all like, hey, and it was very like the how like a flashlight is broad, it went laser, where I'm above.
Spotlight.
It's spotlighted, and everybody else stopped really having independent like movement, you know what I mean? Like they were just like nodding to me, like being like, yeah? And they were like, yeah. And then I was like, wow. And then the guy was like so intense that he'd given me it. And so I just really thought, like, this is it. I can't go and create another dream without now knowing the secrets of the universe that I can just create, you know? And so I really thought that they wanted me to stay in that existence, you know, like where we just got to talk about it. Like, hey, life's amazing. We can create. Beautiful. You're beautiful and one with me, you know, and we're all. And so then then I knew that it wasn't a full moon, and I see the moon like kind of out of the tent, and I was like, I knew that would bring me back to world, because I've had these crazy trips before, you know. I know the rules of acid.
You know the rules of acid. Say your first rodeo.
So I'm like, the moon's gonna bring me back, and so I just run out, and I was like, is the moon full yet? And it wasn't, but it was cloudy, so we couldn't really see the moon, and so I run out there. And then the people started independently moving as soon as I broke. And I was like, oh, humans are real? Because I really didn't think I had to go to work again. Or
Damn it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you get to see any space gnomes? Did you see any of the gnomes?
He became a person. Yeah. Like he was human hanging out with me.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. And he looked like somebody out of Lord of the Rings, for real. Like, you know what I mean? The dude looks like somebody who'd go on a quest, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we create our dreams. And I think Freud was into it when he was talking about the id, the identity that we create about ourselves. And so I think that is how the universe creates our dreams, and it doesn't judge. Only you will. You know what I mean? And so the things we say about ourselves, I am doing this podcast, I am, with my friends, I get to perform with my friends. These things that you say about yourself, they start to create and be a thing. And so I've slipped in and out of having faith in my ability to manifest. And this weekend at that festival just really was a renewing abundance of that, reach for things. Because I've had some things don't always turn out perfect in life, and so then you lose that ability to think that you have that full on, communion with the universe, and it's a beautiful thing.
So you said it's invite only Bong-a-thon.
Yeah.
How do you get invited for people watching?
So you got to follow Bong-a-thon, the official page on Facebook or Instagram, and I think it's called Bong-a-thon Invitational. And you just got to go to the pre-party and buy the ticket before. They had a pre-party at Purple Haze Head Shop on Brighton. Yeah. And so we all went down to Purple Haze. Shout out Purple Haze Head Shop, because they sold the tickets to. So it's a ticket, but it says invite. But yeah, so you just have to procure. They don't sell tickets at the door. And out of all the shows that I'm on where they want you to sell tickets, Bong-a-thon was not a sell tickets. They were like you have the address, do with it what you want.
Just make it.
And I was like, do you want me to tell people to come or not? And so it's super low key. It was the 42nd year in a row. So they've, creators of it have come and gone, and people always carry the torch and keep it going. And this year, Billy Cox invited me to come and perform. And yeah,
that's awesome. I'm looking at the flyer here. What else? They had a wet T-shirt contest.
Yeah, that I slept through.
You slept through.
Yeah. So after the bong, when was the bong rolling competition? Or blunt rolling? Yeah, I guess it was after the. No, it was after watching the 7 gram single. Yeah, we were smoking a lot. And then I went back to the tent, and how are the homies not going to wake you up for the stoner wet T-shirt contest?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, so I'm never camping with them again. They let me sleep through that. No, I was joking. Shout out to my camp, though, Haunted Mansion Fest, which they throw their own party coming up in October. And they used to throw the coolest Halloween party in Denver, and it was just the coolest thing. And it got so big that now it's a whole festival, kind of like a Bong-a-thon thing. And hopefully, if I plug it enough times, they're going to have me perform in it this year.
Oh, yeah. I hope so. Let's end it with two would you rather questions I got for you here. Would you rather smoke weed with Snoop Dogg or Scooby-Doo?
Well, I would love to smoke weed with either, but I almost smoked weed with Stephen Marley one time.
Really?
At Red Rocks. I was walking around with mushrooms in my pocket, and I didn't have any flour because, like I said, I switched to extracts a long time ago. And Stephen Marley's groupie guy, roadie, not groupie. His roadie jumped off of his bus. They were pulled in for Red Rocks 420, Reggae on the Rocks. And I'm walking down where the stairs are to the south lot. And he just goes, "Hey, hippie, you got weed? You can smoke with Stephen Marley." And I just looked at the nearest other hippie who was like also walking, and I go, "Bro, do you got weed? We can smoke with Stephen Marley." And he was like, "I don't got weed," and that was enough for him to find somebody else.
He'll find somebody. He's like, "Don't worry, we're gonna get you weed."
He already found somebody else walking. The guy pointed, so I had one. I phoned a friend. It was the nearest hippie.
It didn't work. Lifeline.
We did not. Yeah.
This is great. All right, last one here. Would you rather be stuck in the back rooms or Odyssey, the movie?
The back rooms. What is that?
The back rooms, the horror movie where they're stuck in the.
Oh, definitely the Odyssey. Definitely the Odyssey. Yeah. And I guess the Legend of the Cyclops. They try and say it was just a giant elephant skull, or it was a baby elephant skull.
Baby elephant. Yeah. Baby elephant fucking
It was a
them up.
dwarfed elephant skull. Yeah. But I love fantasy movies like that's I would love to be stuck in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like an acid person's dream.
Hell yeah. That's all for this episode. Tell me where to find you. Anything you want to plug again? Plug Bong-a-thon one more time.
Yep. Bear Love Comedy on all the apps, and Bong-a-thon, every year around the end of July. So follow that. Check that out online.
Hell yeah. Subscribe. Doo-doo-doo.
Doo-doo-doo.